I'm a big fan of East London now. What I didn't realise, I'm from Liverpool, and I had no idea when I moved to London that there were these tribal identities within London. When I first moved here, I lived in Clapham, south of the river, and I didn't know that there was a whole south-north divide. I didn't really buy into that, but we lived in Clapham for a couple of years. Then we wanted to settle down somewhere, buy a house, thinking about having a family. And I'd never heard of Walthamstow either, but a friend from university grew up near here, and she said, oh, if you're looking for somewhere that's affordable but lovely, try Walthamstow Village. So we came along, and it was the perfect place. It's got a real proper villagey atmosphere. It's very quiet streets. It's lovely independent shops. You've got all the amenities of London, everything that you get, all the buzz that I love of living in a big city, but all the sense of community you get from a quiet place. It's so culturally vibrant and diverse. There's loads of people who live around here work in the arts of some kind, so there's a real creative vibe. Lots of writers, painters, photographers, authors. All sorts of little quirky things happening. There's always pop-up shops here, vintage fashion things there. There's loads going on, and it's all slightly offbeat. There's the famous mile-long street market, longest street market in Europe, so they always say. So you can get as much fresh fruit and veg as you want from there, from all over the world. Park here in the grounds of the William Morris Gallery. It's one of Walthamstow's better known attractions, I think. William Morris was my kind of guy. He was a writer, poet, artist, socialist, and he grew up in that beautiful Georgian house over there. I've just actually had a bit of a shock. I was in the museum looking round, and I read that William Morris grew up in the Essex countryside, and I thought, Essex countryside, he grew up in Walthamstow, and then a little penny dropped, and I thought, of course. 150, 160 years ago when William Morris was growing up, this was countryside. All these late Victorian houses that surround us weren't here, and we were in the middle of the countryside, and his family house was this beautiful Georgian building, which has now been turned into a fabulous museum celebrating his life and his work and that of his contemporaries in the arts and crafts movement. The park behind me is just a generally fabulous place to come for families, for children. I bring my daughter here to play, there's kids skateboarding. It's just a really great community space. One of the best things about Walthamstow is that you're 20 minutes down the Victoria line, you're in Oxford Circus, 20 minutes walk in the opposite direction, and you're in the middle of Epping Forest, one of the largest of London's ancient forest lands, so where Henry VIII used to go hunting deer, where Queen Elizabeth used to come and stay when she was on her hunting trips. And you can feel that you're absolutely in the middle of nowhere. You can hear nothing but bird song. If you look at a map of London, then you can see that although Walthamstow is in Zone 3, so it's fairly central, actually there's this green arm of Epping Forest which encroaches right down into Zone 3 and hits the Walthamstow border. So you get somewhere which is very, very urban but has this lovely rural feel to it, just a couple of minutes walk away.